up next we have the California Corviknights versus the Denver Darkrais. Oh. Mimi can't check because she doesn't have it saved. Alright, so what's the scoop on this on the team this week?
The scoop is I had complete team block, and I messaged Frenzy, and he said I got it.
So Frenzy, what's the team looking like here?
I think I have the paste in AJ's DMs. Let me just whip it out. Hold on.
Well, I mean, yeah, and like, what's the rationale too? Like,
so the rationale was, all right, you need Swampert because Swampert checks his 2 fires, and it also sets hazards, which is really nice. And then he has no real proper answers for Victini, so Choice Band doesn't. Sugimori checks his physically offense-oriented threats, so things like Crocodile and I guess Golurk and other things like that. Potentially, Shotgun as well. Then just the last 3 were Dusclops because it spins, and we have Hazard Stack with Swampert and Scarf. Then we have Choice Scarf Cure, which cleans up a lot of his team. If he's not Scarfed or Cephalon, it revenge kills that. It also revenge kills Scarf Crocodile because it's naturally faster, and then it has coverage to hit everything on the Darkrais teams for super effective. Then Regirock is just a nice pivot for us. Absorbs hits from things. Like, and Heatran and all that other good stuff.
Great wall.
Alright. Well, let's get ready to... Did somebody sneeze?
No, I coughed.
Okay. Well, let's get ready to see what happened. Everything set? Alright, let's go. Alright, the leads. We have Fortress and Skarmory. Quite predictable on both sides, I must say. We got the spikes up on one side and the spikes up on the other side.
Yeah,
in retrospect, Taunt might have been nice on Scar, but we just needed every other moveset a bit too much. Like,
yeah, those are the heart choices.
Even fit Whirlwind because you wanted spikes too much, and then Ironhead was really useful. So you need Roost, obviously, and then
the hard choices.
Yeah, so.
And then the defog just makes the last several turns pointless.
Yep.
Defog and rapid spin. You guys are basically just
he
doing the
just
same
kept spikes up and then just gone to Dusclops, kept his own spike as well as his spikes on the field. Because he basically just wasted 5 turns. And the whole purpose of Dusclops on this team is to spin block versus Fortress.
My hope was to just get him to give up the. I was essentially playing chicken and trying to end up being the one with at least 1 or 2 spikes and hoping to just fluff handle Skarmory. And then wow.
The double into Victini was smart on the Will-O-Wisp, but staying in was not a great play because you really want Victini on high health so it can come through late game. And like Swampert and Regirock are in the back. So just letting Victini take all that damage from Earth Power and then from Rough Skin wasn't.
I just thought Brick Break was gonna kill. But...
I get why Earth Power was the play here, but in my opinion it should have been Ice Beam because you risk him Dragon Tailing or Glaring. And like, even if he does switch into Heatran, you have Swampert in the back, so it's not really a problem.
Yeah, I was just thinking he was gonna swap. Why would you stay Druddigan?
Yeah, but even if he did swap and he swapped into your Ice Beam, you just swap in the swap. So there was never really any reason not to go for Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Whoa, that Nightshade animation. Dusclops just gets really big.
Burn up. Stop.
Where's my money, Damon?
Oh my gosh. I can't, Sir Akihiro. I can't do it.
I actually know why I'm green.
Alright, we have first blood.
I keep thinking he's gonna like swap Crook or something. Just to like.
Abomasnow was actually a pretty big threat now that Victini is so low and it can't switch into rocks.
He's running physical over special.
I think he's mixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he used Woodhammer and Blizzard.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't quite get why Skarmory swapped in here. Like, I think if he was going for Woodhammer again, he was gonna kill himself. And if he went for Blizzard, then it wouldn't have killed Regirock, so I think Regirock staying in should have been the play, and then just going for Dream Punch. But he potentially sacks Skarmory. I don't know why Abomasnow goes for Ice Shot on the Skarmory. But it's probably
Yeah.
I think it's
faster
because
than
he probably thought Skarmory was running max speed or something.
Abomasnow takes its self out. Unfortunately, you don't get a KO for that, so...
Even on my own terms. Oh, I see why. He wanted to get a free switch in for Blacephalon.
But I just like
Oh.
Dusclops high because I knew anymore.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's Scarf Blacephalon from the damage that took, because that's... If it was +1 with specs, it would have done more than half, but
Yeah.
it has to be Scarf to do less.
I
than
think he
half
was
damage.
trying to get the crit because he knew he wouldn't be able to get over the Swampert otherwise.
And we're back to the old starting two.
Yeah, I went max special defense. Well, not max. I went like special.
I mean, I don't think that would have mattered if he had crit.
Thanks.
I think Swamp even took a crit even with max special defense.
Yeah.
Because I think a crit would have killed from that, seeing the bait.
No, it wouldn't have killed from full even with plus.
Either I just let him get greedy instead of spike because I knew even if he was setting this up, Jerem was Scarf, so it was outspeed ice anyway. Like, and pretty sure he didn't know it was Scarf, so I was pretty sure he just thought he was good to go.
I mean, I don't think why he wouldn't think you're Scarf.
I mean, it could have been Sub-Brute. AJ's brought that a lot, but yeah, Scarf comes through here anyway, since it can pretty much just clean up.
Yeah, I just let him get greedy, so
Yeah, that ended up working.
the more was figured out anyway.
I also don't get why Heavy Slime was brought on Fortress. Fortress is pretty heavy, so it gets, I think, about 100 base power from, but everything on AJ's team resists Heavy Slime or is so heavy.
Well, right,
that it doesn't
Regirock.
actually end up taking up.
Regirock
doesn't
is so
actually end up
heavy.
taking much damage.
I think he only really had to try to beat down Regirock, but that didn't really help out.
I mean, it's super effective to cure him. I don't know how heavy cure him is. It's not. I don't think it's as heavy as Regirock, but it could have been for that.
It's quite heavy.
And then I risked the biscuit and hoped he wasn't expecting a fire there. Which, thank God he was.
Yeah, that ended up being an okay play.
Trying to spike on weekends. And he had solar, which was interesting.
Yeah,
Power
without
herb.
a power herb or whatever.
He tried
He
to,
had Power Hug early, he just burned it versus Victini.
Oh right,
Yeah,
okay.
he tried to snipe Swampert.
Yeah. But he
Alright.
tried to waste it on the Regirock earlier, but it wouldn't have mattered. Reggie was so fast. Yeah.
No, I think he wanted you to go Swampert to avoid getting Flash Cannon.
He
Yeah,
had Reggie
I could
Rock
see
out
that.
and then dodged the Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah.
So he swapped Reggie Rock out to avoid it getting burned, but he switched in Victini on the Will-O-Wisp and Solar Beam went into.
Yeah.
Alright, let's put on the replay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I got the 1 a.m. I probably could have played certain things better, like Frenzy said. I was panicked from the fact that, like, if I don't win this game, Frenzy's gonna flame me for the rest of my life.
You don't lose with teams I build you, that's a rule.
I know. So I was like, oh god.
Instantly unfriendly.
Hmm?
Like, how dare you lose with a Team Frenzy made?
It's not possible. I remember that when I was doing Wi-Fi battles and I had people making teams for me, every time Frenzy made me a team, I'm pretty sure I went undefeated. It's like, it had nothing to do with how I played, just Frenzy's teams can't lose.
Exactly.
It's like if Frenzy made you a team and you had to nerf to lose with it somehow, he instantly unfriends you.
Right, like you'd have to, how bad do you have to play for Frenzy's team to not make you win? The only thing you'd have to consider is if you had two Frenzy teams playing against each other.
Like, I'm pretty sure he even tells you what each set is for.
Mm-hmm.
And without knowing, and even knowing what each set is for, you lose to the things that the set was made for. It's like, bro, we've been over this like a million times. How do you do?
That's
All right,
I
so
don't know, man. Crits happen.
let's go over the numbers here. California Corviknights win 3-0. KOs for this match: 2 for Swampert, 1 for Regiwalk, 2 for Kyurem. That 1 KO is missing because Abomasnow took itself out. MVP for the California Corviknights is, I think, the same as before, Swampert with 5 currently. Oh no, last time it was Victini. Now it's Swampert with 5 for the season. They are sitting at 2-1 with 5 points. And where are we? The Denver Darkrais, -3 for the game. The KOs are Crocodile with 1 and Blacephalon with 1. Did I miss one? Was there another KO? Wait, was it 3-0 or 4-0? I'm sorry, I totally blanked on that one.
I think it was a 3-0 because Fortress killed, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, that was it.
Who'd Fortress take out?
Reggie Rock.
Oh, right. Okay, that was the other one I was missing. Okay, so we have 1 KO for Crocodile, 1 KO for Blacephalon, and 1 KO for Fortress. That's why it's good to have other people watching to make sure I'm paying attention. So, the Denver Darkrais are sitting at 1-2 for the season currently with -3 points. MVP is Blacephalon with 5 points for the season so far. And I think that is all that I have to report on right now, so let's just watch the remainder of the replay.
Yeah. I had like a lot of same ideas as Frenzy, like AB, Reggie, Scarfium. Frenzy essentially just took the same ideas I had, but didn't know. And he's like, "This is what you do. Here you go. It's amazing. You win." I was like, "Oh," because all I knew before I asked Frenzy for help was, "I'm bringing especially if I'm gonna happen." I'm gonna destroy this stuff. And then I was like, I don't know what else I need. I don't know what else. Really. Alright.
AJ, you're cutting out just a little bit.
It's because I turned up my activity time.
Okay. 'Cause I wasn't sure if it was because I had the music going a little louder, but I think everybody else is coming through clear, at least for the moment. If that changes, I might have to lower.
Is that better?
That's better. I guess just be careful about talking too fast, because then it kind of gets jumbled up with whatever the background noise is.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I think that was it. Were there any other thoughts on the battle before we go on to the next one?
I think that's everything.
Alrighty. Let's move on to the next match then. We've done half of the matches for the week.